Okay, sit yourself onto your left and then come into a good cross-legged position. Just sitting evenly and just finding some levelness at the seat bones. So sitting in cross legs. Let's have a little wriggle about. Make sure that you feel even at the seat bones. Hold onto your knees and elevate your heart area up to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. Look down at the floor, look at something that doesn't move. And spend a few moments listening to the sound of your breath. Just focusing on filling your lungs from the bottom to the top and emptying them from the top to the bottom. Just observing the feeling of the lungs filling from the bottom to the top, consciously breathing into both lungs evenly. And then exhaling evenly from both lungs, from the top of the lungs to the bottom. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste, press the palms firmly together, lengthen from your armpits into your elbows, from your elbows into the heels of the hands, from the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. So keeping the armpits extending away from the elbows, extending away from the armpits. Keeping the chest lifted. Drawing the shoulder blades towards each other behind you. Just focus on the act of filling the lungs and emptying them. Fill them to the top, empty them to the bottom. With an exhalation, draw your chin forwards and down to meet the chest. Lift the chest up to meet the chin. Draw your shoulders away from your ears. And spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. And then gently release the backs of the hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tips of the thumbs, index finger in contact with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, peacefulness, and physical intelligence that we can carry into our practice as an intention. Just raise your head and allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Hold onto your knees, elevate the heart area upwards. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across. Drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Keeping the neck still, just looking forwards. Using the exhalation to intensify the turn. Observe where the body presents resistance and where the body presents freedom. Just paying attention to both of those states, the resistance and the freedom. And the perception of the initial resistance changes. Come back to the center, hold on to your knees, lift up into the chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Digging the back hand into the floor. Again, just observing where there is resistance, acknowledging perhaps that resistance is not where you expect it to be. Or maybe it is. Just acknowledge that it's there if it's there. And use your out breath to move more deeply into the turn. Just dividing your attention between the in-breath and the out-breath. Dividing your attention between the freedom and the resistance. So all of which brings you into the present moment. Breathe down to the tips of the fingers. Push the out breath into the tips of the fingers. And then gently come back to the center. Just come off your lift and then sit back on your heels for Adho Mukha virasana. So big toes together, knees apart, and then press. Just feel that your shins make contact with the mat. Feel that the shins make contact with the mat, but do they make full contact with the mat? So just pick up the front of the knee and draw the shin flesh forwards so that the shins make really good contact with the mat. Make sure that you're in a good straight line in relation to your mat. So press the shin bones into the shin skin. Activating the thighs, lifting the heart area to the ceiling, drawing your shoulders down away from your ears. And then come forwards, hinging at the hips, stretching forwards, keeping the heart area lifted. And then bring your forehead down to the floor. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Turning the tailbone down towards the heels, lengthening from the hips into the armpits, into the elbows, into the wrists, into the palms. Just stretching out, stretching the sleep away from the body.
Just bring your arms to the sides of the body with your head on the floor, still staying in virasana, but the traditional child's pose. Let there be some gentle pressure on the forehead. If it becomes too much, or if it becomes uncomfortable in the neck, then lengthen consciously from the shoulders into the fingertips, just to distribute that weight. Otherwise, just allow there to be that pressure on the forehead, the area between the eyebrows. Just press in the forehead, helps to quieten the frontal lobes of the brain. And then with the head still down, stretch your arms away, lengthen the arms away, hit the seat bones back down on the heels. Feel that the heels are in contact with the seat bones are in contact with the heel. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into Adho Mukha Svanasana, dog down. Come up with bent knees initially, and then lift the seat bones and the tailbone up to the ceiling. And straighten the legs, tightening the kneecaps, pressing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Pressing the very top of the thigh muscle, pressing that in towards the back of the leg. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. Lifting the breath from the bottom of the lungs to the top. Breathing even deep inhalations and exhalations. Just feel how your dog down feels for you this morning. Just listen to the breath. If there's resistance, then acknowledge that and then draw your attention towards areas of non-resistance. Step your feet forwards. Just come up into a standing position. If you have a back problem of any type, then it's always better to come down with your hands onto the blocks. Otherwise, we're going to go into full uttanasana, but we're going to do it from the blocks. So have the feet as wide apart as the mat. Have the toes in line with each other. That's the priority. Have the toes in line with each other. Bring your hands onto your hips, and then feel that the heels are in contact with the edge of the mat. Feel that the little toes are in contact with the edge of the mat. Lift the heart area, wing the elbows together, and then come forwards, hinging at the hips, and then reach down and find the blocks. So if you've got a bad back, then you're just going to stay here, tightening the kneecaps, pressing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs, turning the fronts of the thighs in, lifting the seat bones, projecting the chin and the chest forwards. So if you've got bad back, just stay at this stage. Otherwise, bring the thumbs into the crease of the elbow. Keep the back straight as you allow the top of the body to hang down to the floor in full uttanasana. But keeping the legs working determinedly in the way that we just began. So those determined legs, lifting the kneecaps, pressing the fronts of the knees through to the backs of the knees, lifting the fronts of the thighs up towards the top of the leg, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, lifting the seat bones up towards the ceiling. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. release your hands down to the floor if you came into half uttanasana. If you're into full uttanasana, sorry. And then bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and come up into a standing position. Just move the blocks out of the way if they were there. And then just come into tadasana, inner edge of the feet, touch it, big toes touching, and your heels touching. And then lengthen your shoulders away from your ears. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Have the inner edge of the feet together. Turn the fronts of the legs inwards. Tighten the kneecaps. Tuck the tailbone in. Hit the weight of your legs back so that your weight goes into your heels. Tuck the tailbone in. Lift up into the arm, lift the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, and the shoulders down towards the fingertips. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock the fingers right into the webbing of the hands, turn the palms all the way out, and then raise your arms over your head. Third, baddangulyasana. Release your arms. Swap the interlock of the fingers so you do the other interlock, so the other index finger is on the top of the stack. And then turn the palms all the way out. And then again, raise your arms over your head. Just allowing the body to wake up through extension. Just bringing your attention into the physical body. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, tucking the tailbone in, drawing the abdomen to the spine, lifting the heart area to the ceiling. And then release your arms, stretch your arms down to the fingertips. Spread the fingers, spread the palms. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart for trikonasana. Nice and wide with the legs. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. Just making sure that the heel of that right leg feels like it's in line with the instep of the back leg. Just feel that it's in the right place, and then just have a quick look and make sure that indeed it is. So you never want heels in line with heels. You always want this turned out heel in line with the instep or the toes. Or if you've got stiff hips, you can come beyond the foot, but never heel on heel. Set the hands on the hips, lift up into the chest, and draw that left shoulder towards the wall behind you. Keep your left hand on your hip, reach out with the right hand, and then come down into trikonasana. Keeping that top hand, keep that on the hip for the moment, and then turn that top shoulder towards the wall behind you. Just feel how your trikonasana presents itself this morning. And then raise the top arm. Look up if you can. push the out breath into areas of resistance. Just have a quick look down. Is your head directly over the foot? If it's not, then lift your chest a little more. Squeeze the front leg buttock bone forwards a little more. Hit the back leg towards the wall a little more. Behind you, wall behind you. Draw the abdomen to the ceiling. Lift the chest to the ceiling. Reach up, come back to center. Swap the feet around, turn the right toes in, the left leg and foot all the way out. Just release your hands for a second and just spend a moment to feel that the heel of the left foot is in line with the instep of the back foot. Have a quick look, make sure that that feeling was correct. Don't worry if it wasn't, just correct it if it wasn't. And then tighten the kneecaps, turn the thighs outwards. Keep the right hand on the hip, reach up with the left hand and then come over, reaching down with that left hand, finding the shin. Rotating that top shoulder towards the wall behind you so that the whole torso is almost turning up towards the ceiling. And then reach up. Just observe how the pose feels different on this side. How the extension presents itself in different ways on both sides. Just listen to the body and accommodate it. Accommodate the body and use the breath to move more deeply into the pose if you can, but not at the expense of losing extension. So a quick look down, just make sure that your head again is in line with the foot. Adjusting if it's not. And then reach up with the top hand, come back to the center, bring the feet parallel. And then step or jump your feet back together. Coming back into tadasana. Just lifting up into the chest, gather in the shoulder blades together, turn the palms all the way out to the sides of the room. Lift up like you're an arrow pointing to the ceiling. And then if you've got a problem with your back, then rather than coming all the way down, you can just find a tabletop or the back of a chair, bring your hands onto there. Otherwise, we're going to go into uttanasana, full uttanasana. Have the feet hip width apart, turn your toes in, raise your arms up, extend the arms to the ceiling, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap your fingers around the elbows. And then keep the back straight. Consciously straight as you come down and allow the top of the body to hang down. Just feel where there is resistance and push the out breath into those areas of resistance. Just letting the top of the body hang down, keeping the legs determinedly activating up to the ceiling. And then bring the hands down to the floor. Bring your hands into your hips, bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into Tadasana. Just be in Tadasana, inner edge of the feet together, lifting up into the chest. Just observing how your energy changes, how your energy has changed. Turn the palms outwards in Tadasana, lifting up into the chest. Stretch your arms out in front, palms facing each other, and then turn the palms all the way out. At the same time, rotating the upper arms in the sockets as you do so. And then reach the arms all the way behind you for namaskarasana. So rotate the upper arms in the sockets as you reach behind you, and then bring the tips of the fingers together behind the back, and then walk the hands, fingers and hands up towards the neck. So it's prayer position behind the back. And then at this stage, maybe your fingertips are touching, maybe your shoulders, maybe the heels of your hands are miles apart. So wing the elbows towards the wall behind you. So consciously wing the elbows back, staying in Tadasana. And then lengthen from your shoulders into your elbows. Consciously lengthen from the shoulders into the elbows. And then squeeze the elbows in towards the heels of the hands so that the heels of the hands come together. Push the heels of the hands together and then lengthen from the heels of the hands into the fingertips. And breathe, fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Pushing the heels of the hands, pushing the finger knuckles together, keeping the elbows winging back. Namaskarasana. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, drawing the belly button towards the spine. Try not to push the lumbar forwards. Breathe into the resistance, both the in-breath, but especially the out-breath. Maybe you acknowledge when the arms are behind the back like this, the chest is more open. And then gently release your hands, release the palms of the hands. Spread the fingers, spread the palms, and turn palms all the way out. Listen to the sound of the inhalation, the sound of the exhalation. One more time, stretch your arms forwards, turn the palms all the way out, and then reach the arms behind the back. Bring the fingertips together and then walk the hands up towards the neck. Maybe the second time they go up a little higher. And then lengthen the shoulders to the elbows. Wing the elbows towards the wall behind you. Squeeze the elbows in towards the heels of the hands. Draw the belly button to the spine. Lift the heart area. Keep the legs in Tadasana. Just fill in the lungs from the side ribs up into the collarbone. Keeping the elbows winging back, keeping the palms of the hands pressing together, the heels of the hands pressing together. And then gently release your hands and then stretch back into the fingertips, turning the palms all the way out, lifting up into the chest.
Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart as wide as you can go with your legs. If you can, bring your heels onto the outside edge of the mat, so that you know that your heels are in line. So nice and wide with the legs, prasarita, padottanasana. Turn the toes inwards, and then lift the chest. So just at this stage, just prepare your legs, activate your legs like you're doing tadasana, turning the legs inwards, lifting up into the chest. Now I'm going to give you two choices about this. You can go into prasarita, padottanasana 1, reaching down, finding the floor. If you can't find the floor, then you can use blocks. And then you just stay at this first stage, extending the spine away, keeping the legs really firmly activated. Or you can bring the hands into namaskarasana behind the back. So winging the hands back up into back, and then lift up into the chest. So either hands on the hips or hands in namaskarasana, come forwards, hinging at the hips. Winging the elbows back, lifting the head, lifting the heart area, hinging entirely at the hips. If you're in prasarita, padottanasana 1, which is where you've got the blocks or the floor, then extend the legs up to the ceiling. Hit the weight back into your heels. Extend into the spine. If you're in prasarita, padottanasana 2, then bring the head down to the floor, keeping the arms in the namaskarasana behind the back. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. If you can't reach the floor, then release the hands and then reach down. Just do prasarita 1 as normal. Keep the legs firmly activated. Turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, lifting the kneecaps to the thighs. Just observing how the legs are working today. Are they working as they normally do, or is there a new resistance? Okay, if you're in prasarita 2, then release the hands and then just come into prasarita 1. Projecting the chin and the chest forwards. So bringing the hands back onto the floor and then lifting the chest. So Jill, if you're in prasarita 2, then bring the hand, no, you aren't. Okay, sorry, it looked like you were in the second one. Bring the palms down onto the floor, bend your knees, and then step or jump your feet back together, and then come back up into tadasana. Just be in tadasana and observe your energy. Observe how your energy has changed. Turn the palms of the hands all the way out. Breathe up in through the nose and out through the nose. Fill in the lungs from the bottom to the top. Just coming back into tadasana, activating the arms, activating the chest, the spine, activating the legs. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, come down onto your knees. Bring your hands shoulder width apart. Bring your hands onto the mat, shoulder width apart. Step back. Bring your feet hip width apart. And then push the palms into the floor. Straighten, lift the seat bones up towards the ceiling. And straighten the legs coming into dog down. Making sure that the hands are in line with the feet and vice versa. Activating the thighs, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, lifting the seat bones, lifting from the armpits and into the hips.
Focusing on deep inhalations and exhalations. Just treating the pose as an exploration rather than a punishment. So our yoga poses should always feel like we're just doing the pose to extend, not like people go into the gym and they lift weights and all that kind of thing, and they're kind of roaring because they're punishing the body. Yoga should never be like that. There should be a lightness within. Come down onto your knees. Bring the big toes together, the knees apart. Just sitting back on your heels for a moment. Just observe how your energy feels. And then come forwards one more time into Adho Virasana. Just coming into Adho Virasana, wriggling into the hips. Bringing the forehead down onto the mat, but keeping the arms really firmly activated so that the seat bones stay attached to the heels. And then just bring your hands underneath your shoulders and push yourself up into a seated position. Just sitting back on your heels for a moment and observing the energy that you have released through your practice so far. And then come up onto all fours. Just have the hands underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. Bring your shins down onto the floor. So we're going to come into rajakapotasana, the pigeon pose. So bring your right knee forwards to make contact with the right wrist, and bring the right foot underneath the left thigh or the left hip. And then stretch that left leg away behind you. Come up onto the fingertips and then lift the heart area up to the ceiling. Turn the back leg like you're doing tadasana. Turn the front of the thigh inwards so that the hips come level. And then lengthen from the abdomen to the diaphragm to the collarbone to the chin. Lifting up into the chest. Turn the crease of the elbows to face the front. So you might maybe bring your hands a bit further apart, just giving yourself space in the chest. Okay, bring the palms down onto the floor and then walk the left knee in and then come back onto all fours. Just have a little wriggle about in the hips, just opening up the side of the hip, just a few times swinging the hips from one side to the other, just feeling how you can just gently open up those sides of the hips. And then come back to the center. Rather than feeling like you're collapsing down into the floor, feel like you're lifting from the wrists up into the armpits. From the wrists up into the armpits. And then bring the left knee to make contact with the left wrist, bringing the left foot underneath the right thigh, and then stretch that right leg away. Tadasanaising it, turning the front of the thigh inwards, come up onto the fingertips. Keep turning that back leg so the hips are level, and then lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Turning the crease of the elbows to face the front. Keeping the hips level, lifting the abdomen. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Okay, and then bring the palms flat down onto the floor. Walk the back leg in, and then sit back on your heels. Just bring the big toes together, the knees apart, and then just come forwards one more time into Adho Mukha Virasana. Just feel how the pose is different. And then put your hands underneath your shoulders, push yourself up into a seated position. And then just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Just listening to the breath. Okay, bring a block. So you get 2 blocks, have one on its low end, one on its tall end, and then get your bolster, and then bring the bolster into a little ramp. Have a folded blanket on top of the end of the bolster for your head. If you haven't got a bolster, you can just prop yourself up with some cushions. And then just come down onto the bolster, and then we're just going to stretch our legs out and then guide ourselves down onto the bolster, just opening the chest. So have the blanket underneath your back of your neck and your head so that your head isn't rolling back. Have the palms facing upwards, and then observe your breath. Observe long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations, filling the lungs from the bottom to the top. And long, slow, deep exhalations, exhaling from the top of the lungs to the bottom. So this is a little bit like Supta Baddha, but the legs are outstretched. You can just relax the legs. So this is the restorative heart pose. Just bringing openness to the abdomen and to the diaphragm region, just broadening it out, bringing openness to the collarbone, into the chest. So just breathe in through the nose and fill the lungs from the bottom to the top. Aiming to feel, to let the air touch the front of the lungs, the side of the lungs and the back of the lungs. Filling from the bottom to the top. Just letting the body relax with the exhalation. Push yourself up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs, into half padmasana. And hold onto your knees, lift up into the chest, elevating the heart area to the ceiling. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side, digging the backhand firmly into the floor, keeping the lumbar spine plugging in towards the front of the abdomen. And back to the centre. Hold on to your knees and then turn to the left. Just drawing yourself around. And then come back to the centre. Then just move the bolster out of the way, move the blocks out of the way, and then have the bolster for underneath your knees, and then just guide yourself down along the centre of your mat. Have a folded blanket underneath your head if your head rolls back, or if it just feels more comfortable. And then allow the body to completely release into the floor. Feel like the body is full of lightness, physical lightness illuminating from the bones and into the muscles, illuminating into the heart area and into the lungs and into the liver and the organs, the kidneys, the pancreas, the abdominal organs, to the heart, to the abdomen, into the pelvic region, into the legs. Body radiating with golden light. And then when you're ready to disturb yourself, just wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And then bend your knees. Bring your feet onto the bolster, have the feet apart, the knees together, just rest in your back into the floor. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom. Gentle massage on the spine. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position, just cross legs with your hands in the namaskarasana, final spinal lift. Just hold onto your knees for a moment, lift up into the chest, and then bring your hands into namaskarasana. Draw your breath, close your eyes and draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen.
Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists bring to the body and to the mind. And then gently draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin, draw the shoulders away from your ears. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then place the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of the index finger together with the tip of the thumb. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. Thank you. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy and given yourself good, positive energy to put into your day. So thank you very much for joining me.